Super Mario Bros. Wonder is an amazing game. It has unique level design, a variety of enemies, and it is even a fun speedrunning game. But do you know the best part of Mario Wonder? The badges, of course. These badges offer very fun options of gameplay in each and every level. There are 9 action badges, 11 boost badges, and 4 expert badges, 24 total. I will be ranking these badges based on practical use, effectiveness, charm, entertainment, and replayability value. And of course, this is just my overpowered onion, so don't get all heated up that my list doesn't perfectly match yours. These are all 24 badges in Super Mario Bros. Wonder, ranked from the worst to the best. Number 24. Coin Reward. This is the worst badge in Super Mario Bros. Wonder. This badge has absolutely no practical use. It's not entertaining, nor does it have any charm to it. All that happens is that you get a few extra yellow coins for defeating enemies. That's it. This wouldn't be that bad of a badge if yellow coins were actually useful in this game. You don't need them for lives, since you can buy 99 lives with just 300 flower coins, aka the useful type of coins, from the shop. If that's somehow not enough to establish that the yellow coins are useless, you can just do the infinite 1-up trick in the 3rd level in the game. Lives in Mario games are like a joke at this point. You could remove yellow coins from the entire game, and practically nothing would change. So yeah, the only thing this badge really offers is just something that's pretty much useless. Number 23. Rhythm Jump. With this badge, you get coins for every jump you time correctly to the music. This badge seems like a really cool concept, but it's just not when you try it. The jump pattern system is really strict. It takes 4 jumps to start earning coins, and you get a grand total of 1 coin per jump. Whoa, don't get too crazy. You can't even jump in between the rhythm patterns or else the pattern resets. It'd be cool if you actually jumped higher when timing your jumps correctly, but that just doesn't happen either. I didn't notice this until testing this out for footage, but the rhythm jump badge doesn't even work for every single level, even if there is music with it, so that kinda sucks. How exactly is this badge a boost badge? The only thing gained that could even be remotely considered a boost are the yellow coins that you get, but yeah, I just talked about how useless those things are. One thing that brings this badge higher than Coin Reward is the fact that this badge honestly has some charm to it and offers some unique gameplay trying to time your jumps, even if it is for very little reward and can be awkward at times. You may get more coins with Coin Reward, but like I said before, yellow coins don't matter in this game. But honestly, the level where you unlock this badge is cool and shows off the badge's mechanic quite well. Good luck using this badge on any other level though. Number 22. Sound Off. This badge is a bit disappointing for me. It's such a nothing badge, if you know what I mean. You get this badge by beating the game's final level, an epic badge marathon. To unlock this badge marathon, you need to collect every Wonder Seed, every 10 coin, and reach the top of the flag on every level up until that point. This is the reward you get for all your hard work. So what does the badge do? Well, it changes the sound effects in the game. While this badge is basically tied with Coin Reward and Rhythm Jump when it comes to practical use, this badge has some charm and entertainment attached to it, as the altered sound effects are funny and technically offer something new. I don't hate this badge, but there could have been a better reward for 100%ing the game, that's for sure. Sound Off is one of those badges that you test out once or twice, and then never touch the game again. Number 21. Invisibility. This badge is an expert badge, so it's not meant to help you like the other types of badges. It's meant to give you a challenge and add some replayability value to the game after you've 100%ed it. It also adds some funny Easter eggs in the game. The concept itself is also cool. However, I'm sure most people don't like the fact that you can't see yourself at all. But you can just look at the particles to have a good idea of where you are. Even though this badge is meant to be a challenge, I don't think it's as fun of a challenge as the 2 expert badges higher, much higher, on the list. The challenge and change of gameplay is why this badge is above Sound Off. Overall, invisibility has a lot of replayability value, but it isn't practical at all, so I think this placement on the list is fair. It's a badge that you'll probably never use outside of the badge challenges. Number 20, Coin Magnet. If you equip the Coin Magnet, you can attract both yellow coins and flower coins. This is above Coin Reward and Rhythm Jump because the magnet actually provides a benefit when it comes to flower coins. You will need a lot of those if you want to 100% the game. You use them to buy Wonder Seeds, badges, standees, and like I said before, 1-ups. Every purple coin matters. This badge is primarily useful on these golden bonus stages that are flooded with coins. There are two things that bring this badge down for me. Firstly, you can't attract the purple 10 coins. This badge would have been higher if you could attract these coins, the collectibles you need to 100% the game. Secondly, even though the Coin Magnet badge is a great way to grind purple coins, it technically isn't the fastest way. You see, there is this level in World 3 filled with flower coins, and a superstar power-up, which if you didn't know also attracts flower coins. Playing that level over and over again kind of negates the use for this badge. You could argue that no casual player would know that this method exists over the Coin Magnet, but most people don't really realize that they need so many flower coins until they get to the point where all they need to 100% of the game are the standees, you know? So they Google the fastest way to earn flower coins, and playing this level over and over again is what should show up first. Thus, many people could have been led to this method over using the badge. Overall, the Coin Magnet is effective at its job, but I don't really see why you pick this badge over an action badge, which unfortunately could be said for literally all of the boost badges on this list. Number 19, Auto Super Mushroom. This badge automatically gives you a Super Mushroom when you are tiny, at the start of every level, and every time you die. This badge is used for when you want to get a power up fast, as this game has a progressive power up system. This means that usually, to get something like the Elephant power up or Bubble Flower, you need to already have a mushroom. This is where this badge comes in handy. It's also kind of useful for hard levels that don't have any items, as you'll start with a mushroom every time for an extra hit point. This badge is pretty underrated and practical, but I didn't really use this badge that much because I knew I could just get the power up I wanted just a little bit later in the level if I didn't use the badge. This is the main thing that brings this badge down. If you're always stocked up on power ups, this badge will be completely useless to you. Number 18 through 15, all power up stuff. Yeah. The next 4 badges on this list are the badges that make all of the question blocks in the stage contain a power up of your choice. These badges are all Elephant power, all Fire power, all Bubble power, and all Drill power. They share the same benefit with the Auto Super Mushroom of skipping the progressive power up system. However, this badge isn't as useful as you think. Again, if you wait just a little bit later, you'll likely get the power up you need. If you need a certain power up for a collectible, chances are that power up is already in the level. Whoa, what a crazy revelation. Also, a lot of the hard levels where you'd want power ups the most don't even have a question block or checkpoint, which is needed for these badges to have any use. So, the only way I can think I can rank these 4 badges is by which power up I like the best. So, number 18 is Fire Power, because while it's a solid OG power up, the other 3 are more unique. Number 17 is the Drill. You can go underground and in the ceiling to avoid enemies, but not on all surfaces. You have protection from enemies above you with your hat. The Drill is also used for a number of secret exits in this game. One downside of the Drill is that you can't directly attack enemies, an advantage that every other power-up has. The next 2 power-ups are really close, but I have to give number 16 to the All Elephant power. You can spray water and swing your trunk at enemies while still moving fast and keeping your momentum. You can also push heavy objects and break through blocks much faster. Number 15 is All Bubble power, which is the best power-up in the game in my opinion. Sure, maybe the Elephant power-up is a bit more practical overall to Wonder's collectibles. However, with the Bubble power-up, you can shoot the bubbles to defeat enemies, shoot them through walls to access collectibles, and infinitely jump on bubbles, which is really sick. Number 14, the safety bounce. This badge is used to get back to safety after falling in the void, lava, or poison. Even though you aren't guaranteed to get back to safety with this badge equipped, this can still be helpful for beginners, and the badge is pretty good at its job. I don't know if I'd find myself using this badge ever though, unless I want to cheese some quick purple 10 coins, or find some other fun way to abuse the badge. The safety bounce is fine, but it gets severely overshadowed because there are so many good action badges in this game that can prevent you from falling in these pits in the first place. Number 13, Sensor. This badge allows you to detect Wonder Seeds, Wonder Flowers, or purple 10 coins. If you are a completionist, this will be very helpful to use. Of course, you could always search for a 100% playthrough on YouTube, but I don't think it's worth all of that just to find one collectible in one level. It's cool that Nintendo added this. It would be cool, however, if the sensor had a distinct sound or vibration. That way you could know whether you're near a Wonder Flower or a 10 coin. That one issue isn't that big of a deal, but I feel like this concept could have had more, if you know what I mean. But you know what is a big issue? The sensor badge doesn't help at all with secret exits, which is the only aspect of 100%ing the game that I struggled with. On your first playthrough, if you're used to Mario games, you could theoretically never use this badge at all, which was the case for me. Thus, I can't really put this badge much higher than around here. Number 12. Add exclamation mark blocks. We have reached the best boost badge in the game. This badge automatically adds exclamation mark blocks to levels. That might sound useless, but it's the opposite of that. These blocks can help you find collectibles, secret exits, hidden coins, and more. They can even act as more platforms and contain items if you need them. This boost badge is very good at its job and affects the gameplay of a given level more than you think. It's sort of a combination of many other boost badges in the game. The add exclamation marks blocks badge offers extra coins from the extra blocks, just like the coin reward in Rhythm Jump, except it actually offers flower coins, which are actually useful unlike those yellow coins. This badge offers extra platforms, which should prevent you from having to use the safety bounce. This badge offers exclamation blocks which hold extra items, which kind of negates the use of the Auto Super Mushroom and the All Power Up badges, although those badges have their own unique benefits. The add exclamation marks badge even offers some hints to collectibles, kind of like this sensor badge. See what I mean? This is why I think this badge deserves to be the best boost badge in the game. Sure, it's once again completely useless if you're good at platformers, but if you're new to platforming, this badge is your best bet. It's like a package deal, multiple boost badges in one. Isn't it crazy how every action badge is above every boost badge on this list? I've said this many times, but the main problem with most of the boost badges is that they can be completely skipped. Meanwhile, most of the action badges have multiple levels dedicated to them. Moving on to the action badges, which one is the worst? Well, I had trouble deciding between the crouching high jump and the wall climb jump. So, I made a poll on my community tab. Most people said that the wall climb jump was the better badge, but after thinking about it some more, I have to disagree.
Bruh.
Yes, I know it's weird to ask you guys for an opinion just to go against it, but hear me out on this one. Number 11, the wall climb jump. This badge gives you the ability to jump on a wall, then wall jump. These two movesets combined allow you to quickly scale up walls in vertical levels. There's nothing wrong with this badge by itself. It's pretty cool. But when compared to the other action badges, the wall climb jump is noticeably weaker, especially against the badges that allow you to infinitely wall jump and /or get more vertical height without the use of walls. This badge can also sort of get in the way if you just want to do a normal wall jump, although you could just spin if you don't want the extra wall climb move. Number 10, the crouching high jump. This badge allows you to charge up and jump extremely high. This is the badge that gives you the most vertical height. My main issue with it, however, is that the horizontal momentum is non-existent with this badge. If you want to use this ability, you'll have to come to a sudden stop and kill all momentum you had beforehand. Also, even though you get a ton of vertical height from this badge, the only real advantage you have by using this badge over most other action badges is the fact that you can gain this vertical height without any walls. This advantage is pretty good though, so that puts it above the wall climb jump for me personally. When there are walls, however, this ability gets overshadowed by most other action badges. Number 9, Spring Feet. Now, hold on, just hear me out on this placement. This is an expert badge, so once again, it's meant more to add a fun challenge than to help you. Plus, you can get a lot of height with this badge immediately. The main complaint others talk about with this badge is that it can be hard to use when you just need to stand around for something. However, you can also just hold the crouch button to do small bunny hops, which should solve that issue. You can also hold B to jump super high, or just hold nothing for the neutral bounce. These 3 different set heights are cool if you ask me. I can't put it much higher than around here though, since it's not really much more practical than most of the other action badges. Number 8, Fast Dash. This badge allows you to run faster, which is great for speed runs and replayability. Fast Dash is one of the 2 action badges to not have its own badge challenge. This is probably because of Jet Run. And yes, I consider Jet Run to be better than Fast Dash. Fast Dash is great, and it barely feels slower than Jet Run. You can also actually control Fast Dash unlike Jet Run, which justifies Fast Dash's existence. However, I still have some problems with Fast Dash. First of all, it feels like it takes an eternity to get to max speed with this badge. However, there is a trick where you hold right and then flick left to gain speed noticeably faster. Why am I even telling you about this? Because no casual player is doing that. One more nitpick. Letting go of Y and immediately repressing it gets rid of some speed that you had built up when using Fast Dash. This makes bubble jumping with this badge feel really inconsistent. Meanwhile, with Jet Run, you keep your speed forever. Unfortunately, this badge gets overshadowed by Jet Run in every way, except the ability to stop. Also, going faster doesn't really help much for casual playthroughs. Number 7, Dolphin Kick. Let's get the obvious fact out of the way. The Dolphin Kick badge is very useful in water levels. Seriously, there's no reason for you to equip any other badge when you're playing a water level. This also means that this badge is useless outside of water levels, but that's okay. Nintendo did not intend you to use this badge outside of these levels, so I don't think it's fair to rank this badge low just because it isn't useful in scenarios that it isn't supposed to be useful in the first place. This badge is dominant in water levels and makes them less of a drag. By pressing R, you get a burst of speed underwater. Spamming the button allows you to chain these kicks together, allowing you to breeze through these levels instead of slowly swimming the traditional way. Number 6, Grappling Vine. This badge is pretty sick. It allows you to cling onto the wall from far distances, kind of like Spider-Man. Also, you can infinitely wall climb with this badge, the fastest out of any other badge that allows you to infinitely wall climb, which gives it some bonus points. That's how cool it is. However, there is a reason why even though you infinitely wall jump the fastest with this badge, it is still the lowest rank compared to the other 3 badges that you can infinitely climb walls with. The Vine does replace the ability to spin in midair, although you could just crouch to spin even with the badge equipped. I can see people getting upset by this limitation though. Overall, this badge stands out and is very unique as well, even if it isn't the most practical thing in the world. Number 5, Timed High Jump. Not gonna lie, I forgot that this badge existed when making this list. That could be because this is the other action badge to not get its own dedicated badge challenge. However, when trying this badge out for the first time, it's pretty good. I was pleasantly surprised. The timed high jump is sort of like a triple jump, but you get the triple jump height with only 2 consecutive jumps. Also, you keep that same height after jumping more times. So yeah, this is way better than the traditional triple jump, no debate. Furthermore, you don't have to be moving to achieve this height. You can be idle and still jump the same height after only 2 jumps. You can even control how high you go, so this is definitely better than the crouching high jump. Also, this badge doesn't eat up any default actions you had before equipping this badge, unlike the grappling vine. If all of that wasn't enough, the timed high jump works on sand, which is great for the levels in World 4. This badge is overall very satisfying to use, and fits perfectly with the rest of your moveset. It's truly a shame that this badge is so heavily overlooked, and didn't get its own badge challenge. It is everything the rhythm jump should have been and more. Number 4, the floating high jump. Number 4, the floating high jump. This badge allows you to get a pretty decent amount of vertical and horizontal distance in one single jump. Let's get to the thing that I don't like about this badge. You can't exactly control whether or not you want to flutter, it just sort of happens. Even if you try to spin jump or crouch jump, you'll still get the float, which can kind of get in the way when playing precise levels. I'd like this badge better if you can control when you float, but this is still a very good choice for an action badge. To be honest, the only reason I have this badge above the timed high jump though, is because you can get infinite height from one wall with this badge. Number 3, Jet Run. Wow, I am so glad that this badge exists. This is by far the best expert badge. Jet Run makes speedrunning levels very fun, arguably more fun than Fast Dash. With Jet Run, you immediately hit max speed in like less than a second. And the max speed, by the way, is insanely fast. You can literally run in mid-air for a bit. This mid-air running combined with the insane speed allows you for this badge to be the badge that gains the most horizontal speed and distance from a single jump. By far. So this is the ultimate badge for speedrunners. You can infinitely wall jump with this badge, even though it is one of the slower badges to infinitely wall jump with. People complain about the badge because you can't really stop, but I personally didn't find this popular complaint that big of a deal, since you can just crouch and flick your finger on the analog stick back and forth so you don't have to move from one spot. You can also constantly jump or ground pound cancel. Hot take, but I personally think not being able to stop makes the badge better, as it's supposed to be a hard badge to use. If you were able to stop, this badge would be extremely overpowered. Even though Jet Run is more entertaining than the next 2 badges on this list, you can't deny that Jet Run isn't practical for non-speedrunners. These next 2 badges are really well-rounded, and if you fully played this game, I think you know exactly what those badges are. Number 2, Parachute Cap. This badge is simple, effective, and practical for so many different scenarios, especially in the early to mid game before you unlock the badge that's number 1 on this list, to be Frank. You can use the parachute badge to soar in the air, sometimes infinitely when there is some kind of wall. And yes, you can infinitely wall jump with this badge. You can use it to glide across any gap, small or large. The parachute cap badge is so heavily used since you'll constantly need to adjust your jumps. This can kind of be considered a boost badge since you can so easily save yourself from falling into the void, except it's more satisfying when you perform the save. Take some note, safety bounce. You can even hold items while using the parachute cap. The parachute badge is such a solid starter badge and does its job of introducing you to the world of badges very well. Wait just a minute. Parachute cap. This badge is simple, effective, and practical for so many different scenarios, especially in the early to mid game before you unlock the badge that's number 1 on this list, to be Frank. Before you unlock the badge that's number 1 on this list, Why did I say that the parachute cap badge is very useful and dominant in the early game only? What about the rest of the game? Well, give that job to the best badge of the game. That badge is the boosting spin jump. It seems like a weird badge to get the number 1 spot because of how simple it is, but this badge is way better than you think. Do you want to know how good and perfect this badge is? When I first unlocked it in my casual playthrough of the game, I barely changed my badge at all throughout the rest of my playthrough. I don't know where to start when talking about this badge. You have full control over the badge because you can decide when you want to perform this spin jump. You can chain this with a normal jump to get both great horizontal and vertical distance. This action fits in so well with the rest of your moveset. You can normal jump, boost spin jump, and then still twirl in midair to maximize your air time. Just like the parachute cap badge, this can be used to make platforming fun, make cool jumps that you couldn't make before, and make your overall moves fresh. Unlike the parachute badge, however, the boosting spin jump doesn't slow you down at all when you use it. Also, you don't need a wall or anything to get vertical height. The boosting spin jump badge is so versatile that it can be used in almost any situation. It's so entertaining to use, has a lot of charm, and most importantly, is arguably the most practical badge in the game. That is why the boosting spin jump is the best badge in Super Mario Bros. Wonder. That was my ranking on all 24 badges in Super Mario Bros. Wonder. It was really fun to test out many of these badges for the first time. If you want to see more ranking videos, consider subscribing as it helps me out a ton. With that, thanks so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time.